Hello everyone, we're group number one, and today we're going to talk about the chapter one of the book that we were reading. And specifically, we're going to talk about the English language learning in Latin America. Please, next. First of all, I just want to begin with this interesting phrase just in order to let you think a little bit. So the phrase says, you have the potential to make beautiful things. Yes, you. So I this interesting phrase to you. Next. Okay, let's move to the introduction. English proficiency is one of the most relevant problems if we talk about Latin Americans' competitiveness and prospects for economic growth. From this premise, the following questions are raised. Okay, how proficient are Latin American in English? Are schools and other educational institutions in the region providing a solid foundation that will position Latin American workers favorably for employment opportunities in an increasingly globalizing and interdependent world? Those are really interesting questions. And if we answer them, we will have the solution to the big problem about the English language learning in Latin America. However, throughout the years, governments have been making a lot of efforts to improve the ELTs in the different countries in Latin America. These chapters seeks to provide an overview of the state of ELL in 10 Latin American countries. Those countries are Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Mexico, Panama, Peru, and Uruguay. Next. So now we have this part. English proficiency is essential for international collaboration and success in the global economy. Next. The international business community recognizes the growing importance of English proficiency for international collaboration and success in the global economy. However, Latin American governments recognize the business community's need for proficient workforce. On the other hand, the integration into and success in the global economy appears to be a clear strategic motivation behind governments' efforts to increase English proficiency. Okay, it is well known that the English language gives us many opportunities around the world because we will have the possibility to communicate with many people who speaks this important language. But how it gives us many opportunities? It gives us many opportunities or possibilities to get an interesting job or a good job because many multinational companies mandate English as the common corporate language, demonstrating that English has established itself as the lingua franca in the world of business. But what do I mean with lingua franca? The main if we want to communicate with people from other countries. Okay, next. Now, the current English proficiency levels at the population level in Latin America are low. Next. Okay, the ideal way to assess proficiency would be to constantly apply nationally representative international comparable tests and so on. However, not all the tests are enough prepared to demonstrate a proficiency in many areas. I mean, if we talk about English for specific purpose. So, as we know, we have English for specific purposes. I mean, we have English for business, English for teaching, English for medicine, and things like that. And we can't evaluate that in a specific way that give us a general knowledge or a general proficiency in that language. On the other hand, important to mention that most of the tests reveal that Latin America as a region performs below the world average in the EF English First English Proficiency Index in all age groups. Okay, here we have some interesting days, some some dates from English proficiency in different regions of the world. As I told you, no country in Latin America is in the very high proficiency band. However, Argentina is the only Latin American country ranked in the high proficiency band with a score of 58.40%. But you are going to tell me how is it possible? That is possible because their competitiveness and their rules for the teaching English as a foreign language, it's a little bit high other countries in Latin America. So they are more focused on that part to learn English in a good way. So they want the proficiency to interact with many people and to get new opportunities. Also, as you can see, um, the ranked or the proficiency of Argentina, it is close to German proficiency band. Okay, next. Let's move to the next part. English proficiency levels at the student level in Latin America show slow progress. Next. Okay, just a second. National students level assessment provide a representative view on English language proficiency among the school age population in a subset of countries. Okay, it is important to mention that in 2004, 5% of students in Chile obtained a proficiency level of B1 on the Common European Framework of Reference for Language at the conclusion of their fourth year of upper secondary education. So that is still high. But how is it possible? Because they were using different strategies that could improve the teaching learning process of the English language. So also in Colombia, 11th grade students take the summer 11 exams on which assess English proficiency. Finally, I just want to mention that data from Uruguay also shows improvement in English proficiency in primary students in recent years. The results from 2014 and 2016 show improvement in vocabulary, reading, and grammar, with increasing percentage of students at higher proficiency level and decreasing, percentage of students at lower proficiency levels. Next. Okay, many schools are not providing the mandatory English classes. Next. A majority of countries in Latin America require English language instruction as part of their official curriculum, sometimes as early as the primary level. But why is it necessary? Because the English language is the global language. So most of the students should know or should have a good proficiency with this level because it will give them many opportunities around the world. And if they choose a career, they have to know that language. Okay, actual access to English language learning in schools is far from universal. Also, Uruguay and Costa Rica have made important efforts to expand the coverage of English language learning in public schools. And finally, in Ecuador, only 1,000 of 15,000 public schools have teaching staff to teach English. That is too bad. For that reason, we don't have a good proficiency in the English language. But we are improving over the year. Time is changing, and obviously, we try. better every single day. Okay, Eliana.
Okay, the next is I'm talking about the private language institutions reach interest learners outside of the K 12 educational system. Okay, the K 12 educational system, in addition to public and private K 12 education, the English language learners often look to language instruction institutions outside of the traditional system. In fact, the number of students learning English through private language institutions is growing exponentially in many countries in Latin America. For example, Brazil trains millions of people entering these private language institutions. The parents aren't often willing to pay for additional English training for their children outside of the classes they receive at the school. Okay, the another topic is about the lack of a cohesive approach to English language learning at the university level. The, the universities also provide English language learning service. However, the English is not always uh, compulsory at the university level. Most universities in Latin America have the autonomy not only to choose the languages they offer, but also to see their own language policies and requirements for academic programs. And in some countries include a regulation concerning English in higher education in their legal frameworks and sector policies in such as Peru and Colombia. The other is the quality as a challenge to English language learning in Latin America. Okay, the Latin America families, employers, and teaching institutions demonstrate an interest in developing English skills. The surveys in 7 Latin American countries found that found that sorry, found that while many um, individuals study English because it was a mandatory in schools. The ability to access more sources of information and to travel were also a strong motivator for learning English. Uh, the questions is what are the factors that explain the low English proficiency levels we observe in Latin America? And are governments in approaching the challenge of expanding the opportunities for high quality English learning in a strategic in this strategic way? And there are governments approaching the challenge of expanding opportunities for high quality English. In this case, are they following effective approaches? And the schools and the universities operate under well-developed policy frameworks, and that not only encourage the adoption of effective teaching approaches. Okay, the next is about the questions. How proficient are Latin Americans in English? Why is English important in Latin America? According to your knowledge, what level of English does Ecuador currently have? Do you think that all institutions are required to teach English? Okay, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.